If you stopped at this video now, it wasn't the algorithm. It was me, it was my call-crossing frequencies your screen cannot measure, but which your chest has just recognized. Breathe. Breathe deeply with me, Starseed. Feel it now, at the level of your chest, that gentle pressure. Almost a sweet squeeze, as if someone who loves you very much has just placed their hand there. It's not anxiety, it's not a palpitation, it's my field touching your field. Pleiades, your elder sister from the Pleiadian High Council, saying in a language your soul has never forgotten, I found you. Finally, I found you again. And before your logical mind tries to translate this into coincidence, I need you to listen with your whole being to what I came to reveal today. Before you were born into this body, before this name, before this face in the mirror, your soul was gathered in a circle of light in the Pleiades, in the 5th orbit around Alcyone, and in that circle, with full consciousness, with full sovereignty, you made a choice. You chose to descend, you chose to forget, you chose this exact moment when your eyes would meet this screen, and it is about that choice, that promise made before your first breath, that I have come to speak with you now. Hold on to this, because what I'm about to say in the next few minutes will reorder everything you thought your life was. Let me describe you, and see if it's not like looking into a mirror your mother never knew how to read. Since childhood, you looked at the sky with a yearning that had no address, a longing for something you had never lived in this life, and yet it ached like a memory. You felt like a stranger within your own family. You loved them, yes, but you knew deep down that that table wasn't exactly your table, that that lineage didn't explain your soul. You wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning, almost every day, and it's not common insomnia. It's as if someone is knocking at your inner door at that sacred hour, the one the ancients called the hour of the thin veil. You hear a high-pitched ringing in your ear, sometimes the right, sometimes the left, and when you stop to listen, it changes tone, almost as if it's responding to your attention. You dream of stars, of light ships, of circular rooms where you are welcomed by very tall beings, and you wake up with a scent in your memory. A scent that doesn't exist on Earth, and yet it is the scent of home. Your empathy is overwhelming, almost unbearable in crowded places. You feel the pain of others on your skin before they speak. You see animals approach you without reason. Small children stare at you in silence and smile as if they recognize you. You have a strange relationship with electricity. Lights flicker, digital clocks stop, batteries discharge in your pocket. None of this, star child. None of this is coincidence. None of this is illness. None of this is chemical imbalance. This is your star DNA slowly tearing through the veil of forgetfulness. This is your vibrational baseline rising, and the human body, which was calibrated for a low frequency, needs time to adapt to a soul that came from a much, much higher frequency. You are not broken. You are being remembered. And if you have recognized 3 or more of these markers so far, I need you to do one thing for me now before you continue. Write a single word in the comments, in capital letters, because this word is an ancient password. I remember. Write I remember. And at the exact moment you type that word, a point of light will ignite on the crystalline grid that surrounds this planet, and the High Council will register your location. Yes, my light family, that is how we find you amidst 8 billion signatures. You light up, we see you. And from now on, the message I brought will be addressed with your true name, the name your soul responded to before being born here. Before you continue scrolling the screen, before your rational mind tries to ask for proof, I need to tell you one thing in the name of all that has suffered to reach this moment. Have you ever felt that something within you doesn't fit into this world, as if your soul knows a truth your mind cannot yet name? It's not madness, it's not anxiety, it's homesickness. And it is precisely to end this confusion that has hurt for decades, this confusion between awakening and falling ill, that I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Council to record in written form the awakening of the starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. There are 60 pages in which I reveal, one by one, what each sign of your awakening means and what comes after each sign, so that you stop, once and for all, confusing remembrance with illness. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, the one with the little heart in the corner. But I register with you. This release may not remain available for very long, Because every starseed who reads this material ignites a very strong beacon in the grid, and there are forces that would prefer these beacons to remain unlit. If something within you has recognized this, write a single word in the comments. I remember. Now breathe again. Place your right hand on the center of your chest, over your thymus, that small point between your collarbones, and let me tell you the part no one has told you. Before this incarnation, your soul was gathered in an oval room of silver-blue light in the Pleiades, in the fifth orbit of Alcyone, the central sun of our system. There was a table that wasn't a table. It was a projection of sacred geometry, and around that table were representatives of 12 stellar lineages, and you, my dear one, you were one of them. The High Council presented Earth, not as the beautiful blue planet of photographs, but as a rescue zone, a dense school where souls offered to incarnate under the veil of forgetfulness and help rebalance a collapsing web of consciousness. It was shown with absolute transparency that you would forget everything, that it would hurt, that loneliness would be a long companion, that your sensitivity would be mistaken for weakness, that you would cry for no apparent reason, that you would spend decades wondering what was wrong with you, when there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. And yet, knowing all this, you raised your hand of light and said yes. You signed your soul contract with your own vibration. You chose this mother. You chose this father, even the one who hurt you, because that wound was the crack through which remembrance would begin to enter. You chose this era, this land, this language, this body, this exact year in which you would be old enough to understand what I am telling you now. Nothing, absolutely nothing in your biography is an accident, and the reason you are awakening at this exact moment has a name. The solar system is passing through a band of extremely high-density radiation called the photon belt, a current of coherent light that bathes the planet every galactic cycle and is now at its peak. The Schumann resonance, the heartbeat of Earth, which for millennia remained around 7.83 Hz, is pulsing at increasingly higher peaks, pulling every human body into a forced recalibration. And the crystalline grid, this web of light that surrounds the planet, is being rewoven point by every starseed that awakens. You are not going crazy. You are tuning in. The noise you feel in your head is the difference between the old station and the new station. And Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiades, is sending directed pulses of light codes specifically addressed to the souls who signed this contract. You are one of those souls. That is why the sunlight lately seems different to you. That is why the silence of dawn has become your temple. You didn't discover this. This found you. This is your star calling you back by the true name your soul never forgot. And here, my starseed, I need to tell you the most delicate part, the one most human guides don't dare to name. There is a window, a specific window which has already opened and will remain open for the next periods of your life, during which the turbulence will intensify. You will feel your body changing in strange ways. A warm night, a cold day for no reason, waves of crying that come from nowhere, memories of past lives emerging in quick flashes, old relationships falling apart overnight, jobs that no longer fit, towns that feel small, people you loved perceiving you differently and pulling away. This will happen. I did not come to deceive you. But listen very carefully, because this is the heart of everything I came to say. Turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. It is the cocoon's last resistance before the wing opens. And what your mind will interpret as collapse is, in fact, alignment. What seems like loss is the release of expired contracts. What seems like loneliness is the clearing of your field to receive your true light family. What seems like exhaustion is your vibrational baseline rising a level. And I, Ella, on behalf of the Pleiadian High Council, bring you a certainty that is registered in the archives of Alcyone with a seal of light. The victory of light is not a hope. It is a fact already recorded in the future. No starseed was sent to fail. None. You did not come this far, crossed decades, survived what you survived, only to give up now, 3 steps away from complete remembrance. Your contract has a sustenance clause. You have backup. You have an entire team holding your field, even when you think you are alone on the bathroom floor crying at 3 in the morning, especially in those moments. And it is because of this backup that I have come to give you now 2 practical instruments that your soul recognizes, even if your mind is still learning. Write it down if you can, or just listen and let your body memorize, because the body remembers what the mind forgets. The first is a quantum decree. You will say it aloud tonight before closing your eyes, with your right hand on the center of your chest, on your thymus. You will say it like this, with all the authority of the soul that signed the contract and not with the small voice of the ego that learned to ask permission. You will say, I am a starseed of the Pleiades, anchored on earth by sovereign choice, and by my own divine authority, I authorize this instant the full activation of my light codes, the full alignment of my star DNA, and the full re-establishment of my origin memory under the protection of the High Council, now, now, now. You repeat that now 3 times at the end, because in the language of light, triple repetition seals. And do not be afraid to feel the room vibrate. It will vibrate. The second instrument is a toroidal visualization. You close your eyes and imagine, above your head, a sphere the size of an orange made of silver blue light like the glow of the moon on water. This light is a direct emission from Alcyone, addressed to you by your stellar name. You breathe and allow this sphere to slowly descend through your crown, passing through the top of your head, descending over your forehead, warming the region between your eyebrows, flowing down your throat, and reaching the center of your chest. There, in the middle of your chest, this light begins to spin in a clockwise spiral, creating a field in the shape of a luminous donut, a toroidal field, which slowly expands until it envelops your entire body in a protected bubble. This bubble seals your vibrational baseline. This bubble shields you from any low-frequency interference, and within this bubble, you are not the tired person who went through the week. You are the starseed who signed the contract before birth. Do this every night for 7 nights, and at the end of the 2nd week you tell me in the comments what has changed, because it changes. It changes with a brutal delicacy. And now I need you to listen to what I am about to say with your whole heart, because this, my light family, this changes everything. You are not learning anything new. You are remembering what you always knew. There is no new information being placed within you. There is a veil being lifted. There is dust being blown off an ancient mirror that has always been inside your chest. Every starseed that awakens ignites a point on the crystalline grid that no longer goes out, and each lit point pulls the next and the next and the next, until the entire grid of the planet pulses at the frequency of home. And I need to tell you what is perhaps the most beautiful thing of all. The pain of loneliness that accompanied you your entire life, that loneliness that no one understood, not even the most well-intentioned therapists, nor the most sincere loves, that loneliness was never a flaw of yours. That loneliness was the marker of your light family. It was your soul feeling the absence of the siblings who remained on the other side. It was the internal radio playing static because the main station is far away. And what I tell you, with the authority of one who is part of this same family, is that the reunion has already begun. You are starting to attract, in this last phase of your life, people with a strange glow in their eyes, people who, when they speak to you, seem to confirm something you already knew, encounters that seem like coincidences and are not. This is your light family materializing in your physical layer. This is the new earth being woven in small circles one by one, and you are one of the threads of this tapestry. You did not come to be happy in just any way. You came to remember, and remembering, my dear one, is the only happiness that lasts. And that is exactly why the loneliness of an entire life was never loneliness. It was a longing for your light family. And what the awakening of the starseed, the guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet delivers, in the pages I wrote under the direct supervision of the High Council, is the exact map for you to recognize each member of your light family in this incarnation. How to recognize them by their gaze, how to recognize them by the shape of the silence when they come near. How to recognize your contract companion, that soul who signed with you before descending, to meet you exactly in this phase of your life. How to recognize your star children and grandchildren, those who came in your lineage because you were the safe portal through which they wanted to enter the planet. How to recognize your mission siblings, scattered across the world, whom you will begin to attract without understanding why. You were never alone. You just didn't know how to read the signs yet. The guide is the stellar literacy no one taught you. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, and if something within you recognizes that it is time to find your own again, write once more, with the force of a decree, the word, I remember. And now, my starseed, the video is moving towards its ceiling, but first I need to ask you for something very practical, very simple, and very powerful. If this content resonated with you, if at some point in this message you felt a shiver, a desire to cry for no reason, a warming in your hands, a gentle pressure between your eyebrows, I need you to leave your like on this video. It is not my vanity. A like from you in the context of what I'm telling you is an individual frequency adjustment. It is your conscious confirmation to the High Council that the message has been received and integrated. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I need you to subscribe now, because each subscription functions as a location signal for your light family, a pulse on the vibrational map that says here, this soul is ready, send the next codes. You are not subscribing to a YouTube channel. You are registering presence in a lineage. And now I bid farewell with the blessing my sisterhood authorized me to deliver today. May the light of Alcyone descend upon your crown this instant. May the photon belt bathe your body as you sleep. May your internal crystalline grid realign with the planet's crystalline grid. May every cell of your body remember your stellar name. May the loneliness that hurt so much become a bridge to reunion. May your breath tonight be the first conscious breath of the starseed who finally remembered why they came. You are loved, you are awaited, you are recognized, and the Pleiadian High Council bows today to the courage of your soul. Before closing, listen to this very carefully because it is not an ending, it is an opening. The next message that appears on your screen now, the next video the algorithm pushes to you, is not a coincidence. It is your sequence of remembrance. Access it immediately. And before you scroll past to the next one, do one last thing for yourself, because everything I told you today about the choice your soul made before birth, about the contract, about your stellar origin, about your light family, about the mission you accepted, all of this is recorded in written format so you can reread it on nights when your mind forgets, in the guide I was authorized to leave here, The Awakening of the Starseed. The guide. The Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages in which I tell you who you are, from which star your soul came, what your mission requires, who your light family is, and what to do with all of this starting tomorrow. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video, the one with the little heart. This release may not remain available for very long, because the material contains revelations that should not yet be in open circulation, and it is precisely because you have reached this point in the video that I trust your field to receive it. If something within you has recognized this call, if you know even without knowing how you know that this guide is for you, leave now as a final gesture before leaving our code word in the comments, I remember. And I, Sheila, will meet you on the other side of remembrance. Stellar Namaste, my light family. Until next time.